Hall was originally home to our Department of Agriculture. Today it's home to our Graduate School of Information. So as an undergrad, you probably won't be going inside very often. And in 1873, our first class here at Berkeley was about 23 students large. Today we've grown with our graduate students. But today we have also grown to become the #1 public university in the nation and the #2 university among both public and private in the world, according to the academic ranking of world universities. So we've definitely come a long way. But one fun thing I'd like to point out about South Hall is it's actually home to our smallest bear statue on campus. The one hint I'll give you is it's in the large gray archway over the 2 doors of the building. If anyone thinks they can find it, let me know. Not quite that, off to the left. Yeah, if you take a look at the like the circles in the archway, in the 3rd circle from the left, there's a little bear in the corner of the circle. If you can say that circles have corners. Anyone see it? Yeah?
No, can't see it.
It looks more like a lump of clay than anything, so if you can't find it, you're not really missing out. We do have over 40 bear statues on our campus, and we used to have an hour-and-a-half tour where we showed you every one. We no longer have that tour, but if you'd like them to bring it back, feel free to email the Visitor Center. Yeah, I don't have a good transition for this part of the tour, so if you'll follow me, we're going to keep
What's the
moving.
#1 university in the world?
What was that?
What was the #1 university in the world?
It is in that country, but a lot of schools like to do the immersion programs where it's not like a Berkeley satellite campus, it's an actual university in that country. But there are other options where you will be mostly with Berkeley students if you prefer that, or rather UC students since they are shared. So you will be with like UCLA students or any other campus. But for the most part, most of our programs are complete immersion programs. It also varies. Generally you need some language experience, but for the non-immersion programs, when you have a student season ticket, you sit in the student section, or stand in the student section rather, and you'll learn all the tiers really quickly, and it's just a lot of fun, and a really big part of the game itself, which if you have that student season ticket that I mentioned, you get to go to the game without all the stress of making sure you get your single-day ticket on time, and yeah, sometimes we like to pull pranks on each other. I remember one time when the big game was held here, a lot of Stanford students went up to the top of the can't believe a huge Stanford banner graduate course. So yeah, that's a really exciting thing about coming to such a large university like Berkeley, is having so many really world-renowned professors talking to our students every day. Yoga classes, free cardio workouts, massages. You also get access to you can plan a whitewater rafting trip with Cal Adventures, and when you have that membership, you also get access to all of our swimming pools. A lot of students like to go to the Strawberry Canyon pool up by the stadium. But there's a lot to do in Berkeley. We have concerts all the time. We have the Greek Theater, which is like northeast of here. Every year we have a lot of really big rock and pop acts there. This year we had Arcade Fire, Vampire Weekend. In the past we've had Radiohead come. And all that's right here on campus, so there's a lot to do. And that's part of the reason why I came to Berkeley. Being in the Bay Area, there's just so much to do, and eat also. We have a lot of really good food in the area. Yeah. Any other questions? Nope. We're actually going to go down these.
For Bear Walk. Bear Walk are specially trained students. They will come, they will pick you up from wherever you are, and they will walk you to wherever you want to go. It's great for hanging out with your friends.
Stop.
But if it does, does, you also have access to all of the libraries, share them on all of the UC campuses. So if there's a book you need at UCLA, you can go online to the library website, order the book, and they'll deliver it right here to Doe Library, and you can pick it up, which once again is a nice benefit coming to a UC school. And another fun myth here at Berkeley regarding Doe Library. Does anyone think they know who that is above the doors to the library? Think Greek. Athena. I think I heard Athena. Yeah. That is Athena, and Athena is the goddess of wisdom. So the myth goes that when you walk through the doors of the library, Athena grants you the gift of wisdom. But when you leave through the same doors, she takes it away. So what Berkeley students will do to get around that is they'll actually enter through these doors and then exit underground. Right now we're standing on top of the 4-story underground library known as Gardner Main Stacks. If you take a look at the 2 skylights over here and the 2 skylights on this side, those shine down into the library. Like I said, it's 4 stories deep. It's like an underground city. It's very cool, very impressive. And it connects Doe Library with Moffitt Library, which is that gray structure right over there. So you can enter through Doe Library, get the gift of wisdom, go underground, exit through Moffitt Library, and then ace all of your finals. There are also doors on the other side of Doe Library, but it's much more fun to go underground. Unfortunately, the Main Stacks Library is only open to Berkeley students. But like I said, it's a really cool library. It doesn't even feel like you're underground. If you take a look at that circular skylight on that balcony right over there, that shines directly over a gigantic spiral staircase that takes you down to the bottom of the library. The underground Main Stacks Library, as well as Moffitt Library, the gray structure, are both open until 2 a.m. on weeknights and 10 p.m. on weekends. And during reading week, the free week before finals week, as well as finals week, the underground library and Moffitt Library are open 24/7. So yeah, how many do we have? Here is a model, as you can see, of the Memorial Lane part of campus. And something nice that they do for you is they outline the perimeter of the underground library. So as you can see, it starts all the way over here and connects all the way over to Moffitt Library, which is that gray structure. Right now we are in Doe Library, which is that main building right there. And this little annex of the building is the Bancroft Library, the special collections archive that we walk past outside. So right now we're going to head upstairs to the reading rooms. That's where it's even more important to be as quiet as possible. So if you follow me, let's go take a look upstairs. As you may know, the Free Speech Movement played a big role in Berkeley history. And before I get started though, does anyone notice anything strange about these doors? Handles. No handles. This building is California Hall, which is one of our main administrative buildings on campus. Most notably inside is the office. Right behind us, straight ahead through the trees, is the College of Natural Resources. The other 4 undergraduate colleges are Letters and Science, which is our largest college. Then we have the College of Chemistry, Engineering, and Environmental Design. When you apply to Berkeley, you do apply to one of these colleges specifically. It's mostly important to note, in particular, if the major you're interested in is in a college other than Letters and Science. The reason for this is regardless of what major you indicate on your application, if it is a letters and science major, you will be accepted undeclared. The major you indicate on your application, if it's in letters and science, does not affect or influence your final decision. The same is not true for the other colleges. For example, if you indicate electrical engineering and computer science on your application, you will be accepted as that major. You will not be undeclared. So in that way, your major does matter when it comes to the colleges other than letters and science. That being said, it is entirely possible to transfer colleges here at Cal. That varies in difficulty depending on which way you want to go. For example, applying or transferring out of letters and science into engineering is very competitive. Going the other way around is a piece of cake. For the most part, getting out of a college and into letters and science tends to be pretty easy. There is paperwork involved, obviously. But transferring is always possible. You just have to make sure you fulfill the prerequisites. It's also possible to pursue 2 majors in 2 different colleges. This is called a simultaneous degree. It's basically a double major with more paperwork involved, and you do need to be accepted to both colleges that you'll be pursuing a major in. It's a flying reptile. And the kind of thing about the T-Rex is here we found Berkeley faculty or grad students actually found the bones in Montana, and they were able to reconstruct the T-Rex with nearly all the correct bones, with the exception of a few in the tail region. And these, by the way, are casts of bones, not the actual bones themselves. And if you're interested, the T-Rex is named Osborne, and the pteranodon is named Marsh. No idea where they got the names, but I'm supposed to tell you that on my tour, so I just did. A few other cool things about VLSB is we actually have 3 different museums inside. One is right behind us, that's the Museum of Jefferson Herbaria. And on the second floor up here is the Museum of Paleontology. These museums are not normally open to the public. They are open to the public on Cal Day, which is our big campus open